Right then, this is a quick walk around video of an absolutely stunning Civic. This is a 1.8 SR Tourer manual version. Car's covered just 36,000 miles and is in beautiful condition. Facelift model, so really sought after. 2015 they brought this shape in, which is a really effective facelift. It looks fantastic on the car. Front of the car, as you can see here, lights and lenses are clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bumper's very clean. Likewise, bonnet in exceptionally clean condition. Any chips been microscopic. Near side, passenger side, beautifully smooth in the panels there. Near side front alloy, generally very good. A couple of tiny light marks, but given it's an 8-year-old car, it's survived remarkably well. Near side rear alloy, can't see any marks, any note on there at all. Favourite angle for these Civics is from the rear 3/4. It's one of the few cars that is better in estate form, in my opinion, than any other form. Coming at the back, all very clean and tidy. Tow bar fitted, unused by the way, absolutely unused, so nothing to fear about it being towing excessively, because it hasn't. Offside, again, beautifully clean in the panels, really good, exceptionally clean. Offside rear alloy, again likewise, pretty much unmarked there. Rain panel work, absolutely beautiful, it really is. A fabulous looking car, so the condition is exceptional. Let's come into the back of the car now. Really beautifully finished low bay area, and enormous too, by the way. Rear seats fold absolutely flat. This one's fitted with a load cover, as you can see, which obviously protects the carpeted areas underneath. Worth pointing out a couple of things. It does have the tonneau cover, so that will come with the car. Underneath the cover at the back is a full-size matching alloy for the car, which the previous owner paid extra to have in this car. Let's come into the back now. This is where Civics generally let themselves down, like all family cars, and yet this one has been kept in absolutely beautiful condition. The leatherwork looks almost like new. It's incredibly clean. Front and passenger side, again, lovely and clean and tidy. Passenger seat there again, looks like it's hardly been sat on. Finally coming on the driver's side, again, really clean and tidy. So inside the car now, engine running as always, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, which looks pretty much like new. It's incredibly clean. Sat nav working exactly as it should there. Pop the car into reverse and you see rear parking camera again working exactly as intended. Let's come down the centre stack there, and all very clean and tidy. And pan back here to show you this wonderful view as a driver you get of the dashboard. It is, I think it's just in a league of its own. It really, really is. No warning lights on the dashboard at all. Just really stunning. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video. And this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 SR Tourer. The car is registered VX65VTT and with a mileage of just 36,703 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and especially this part, is to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. The reason we feel that's important is because like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out when you drive the car it's got an obvious issue that shows up as soon as you drive it. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire. And this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the theory being that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So come to the car itself, it's a wonderful example of a fantastic car. We've always loved these cars. They really are a premium estate in their class. Been very well looked after in every single way, and this is obvious the very second you get in and drive the car, because it's a cliche in the used car trade, which I rarely use, but it just drives like new. Turn the keys, start the engine, which starts instantly. It settles to a smooth, even idle. There's no warning lights on the dashboard, or there are no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at 3rd, which is exactly where it's meant to be. But they're also just a brilliant engine in every single way, you know. I say it pretty much every time, but you know, Honda they build the best 4-cylinder engines in the world, and it's for lots of reasons, not just because it is the most reliable, toughest, longest lasting car engine in its class, cam chain driven, no cam belts to worry about, but it's more than that. It's just how it drives. Honda always have they've got a lovely kind of induction noise when you put your foot down. It's got a soft, sweet engine note, so it doesn't grate when you accelerate or use the revs. It's there to encourage you at all times, and it's so flexible and docile in the way it operates as well. On top of which, they are very economical with just normal driving style. It's a brilliant piece of engineering. Engine then feeds through into the clutch gearbox on the car, so I'm just going to put it in here, get out of his way. So that's just the parking sensors coming on. So yeah, the clutch absolutely perfect. It's nice and smooth in operation as well. And then you feed into one of the best gearboxes you're going to use. It's, you know, Honda really put an effort into making sure that all of its controls have a wonderfully tactile feel, but particularly the primary ones, so like steering, your pedals, and obviously your gearbox, because you're using those more regularly, and they have a substantial engineered feel to them because they are substantially engineered. That's why. And it's all the more credit to Honda because, like most front-wheel drive cars, the gear lever here isn't connected directly to the gearbox. As such, it's done via cables. And unfortunately, on some cars and some manufacturers, that means you get a kind of a light, lifeless, vague sort of gear change, which, you know, does its job, but no more. There's no kind of feeling of enjoyment in using it. This has got a, you know, you feel almost as if the synchro mesh is engaging, and it's just got beautiful quality to it. It really has. And it feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. There's zero wear in it, but that's typical of the breed, up to hundreds of thousands of miles. Steering on the car, track's bullet straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And the steering of the chassis is, you know, in my opinion, almost star of the show. Steering's beautifully weighted. It's substantial again. Again, it's not like so many cars we get in. They've got overlight power steering, which can be devoid of any kind of feel. This is wonderful. So when you go through corners like this one here, minimal turn in, car goes immediately with it, but you've got weighting, you've got absolute precision. It's joyful. So for those who just want to use it as a to B, get, you know, whatever, just, you know, an appliance, it does the job brilliantly. But for those who love their driving still, will love these cars, which people do. The chassis responds, as I said, immediately. As soon as you turn, the car wants to turn with it. It's agile, it's light on its feet, but it's very composed. It's wonderful balance to the car. It's got a lovely front end. It's keen to change direction, but it never feels ruffled. It's just wonderfully composed. And it rides brilliantly well. They've managed to sort of combine the two, which is very, very hard to achieve. These higher spec Civic Tourers, by the way, also get a function which allow you to change the settings in your rear suspension to some degree. You've got a little icon on the dash there that tells me currently I'm in comfort mode. That's because I'm old and arthritic. You've got a little button down here I can press. If I do that one, I go into sporty dynamic mode, and you can feel it firm up. Then you go to normal, kind of a halfway house, and back to comfort mode. So it's quite a nice feature, all working exactly as it should. Incidentally, suspension of the car, that section of the road is abysmal, by the way, which is why I tend to talk about it there, because I'm listening out for these sort of clonks, rattles, anything coming from under the car, of which there's nothing at all. Give the brakes a bit of a shove. That's a really good brake pedal on the car. No pulsing or vibrations coming back to the brake pedal, and they're positively in their bite as well. Positive in their bite. The car, by the way, hopefully later today we'll be heading off for an independent MOT, so all these things are going to be checked anyway, but I'd be amazed if they could find anything that merits a mention, really. But there we go. Finally coming inside, you've got two things straight away. First, one thing you can't see because is the build quality. They are brilliantly put together cars. no squeaks, no rattles. It just feels as solid as a rock in here. Honda construct their cars to last a long time. Some cars can feel well built when they're new, but they can become rattle boxes very quickly. And I'm talking about some of the premium brands as well, by the way. But for me, at least, because this is where it becomes subjective, I adore this interior. First and foremost, it's different, which I quite like. Most manufacturers just give you basically variations of exactly the same thing, which can just be sort of slightly dull. They all claim they're doing something different. Look at our dashboard, but basically it's all the same layout ultimately. But this does look different, but not just for show. It's there to work ergonomically, and it does it brilliantly. The most conventional part is the centre stack here, but again, it works really nicely. You've got sat-nav system, as it operates, dead easy to use. I think it's Garmin based, but separate to the screen, which is all important in this day and age. You've got a climate control system, dual zones. You can have different temperatures side to side, so you're not having to go into screens to do it. Pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. And then you've got the heated seats, again, all checked and working. Not that we really need them at the moment. But my favourite part is this display in front, the actual dash display in terms of the binnacle. It's done in 2 decks, upper and lower deck. So the upper deck is the stuff you're going to look at most regularly on the move. And the theory being that you don't have to take your eyes off the road as much to look at them, and that's for safety reasons. You've got an information pod on the left, which gives you kind of some basic sort of trip information if you want. You can change the screen with a press of a button here. But if you were to change things like radio, or if I press the fan speed there, you've got a small display down there, but it comes up much bigger high up on the screen there, so again, easy to take the information in. But my favourite part has always been big digital display for the speed, all by itself, just displayed there. It means I can look ahead at the car in front, pedestrians, cyclists, whoever it may be, but I can keep my eyes on my speed at all times. It is genius in the way it displays that, in my opinion. I think it's a retrograde step to going back from that. Down below that, conventional pod of 3 dials, rev counter flanked by the temperature and fuel gauges, and finally this lovely leather-bound steering wheel. It's in wonderful condition in here. As I said, it just feels like I'm just driving along in a new car, which is why these are so sought after second hand. They are dearer than their competitors. They've held their value better, but they'll continue to hold their value better. So what you lose in outright purchase initially, you gain in long-term ownership. But more than that, it's just a joyful car to own. They're incredibly practical, so it ticks that box more so than anything else in its class. You've got the magic rear seats, the dual level boot floor, loads of internal space, legroom and headroom, and also the cubby holes. Everything's been designed to make family life incredibly easy in the car. But then you've got its reliability, its build quality, and also just the way it drives. It's just a lovely car to sit in and drive, and I can't fault it. Cannot fault it in any way. As always, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.